Okay, so in this video, we're going to be setting up our PC for web development, and there are a couple things we need to do. And because I don't want to be coming back to it later, we should just do the basic now. There are a couple things we're going to skip, like GitHub and link your GitHub to your command line. We're going to do that when we get to the GitHub section of this course. But for now, what we're going to be doing in this video is enabling extension. We're going to download Visual Studio Code. I want to download JIT. We are not going to download Node. I was thinking we should do that, but we are not going to do, because I don't think we're going to use it. If we need it, but we download it. Now, as well, if you want to, you could, but I don't think we're going to use it. And then we're going to install a Visual Studio extension called Live Server, and I'll explain what all those does. So the first thing we need to do is to enable extensions. So what an extension is, right, is basically, if you've ever seen a file on Windows, you see like a .exe, or for a Python file, it will be .py. For HTML file, it will be .html. So by default on your PC, it does not show file extension because most people don't need it. Mine shows it, but on Mac, and I just moved to Mac OS, so there are chances I might make a lot of mistakes, but I will correct them. I will do research to showing them. But on Windows, which is what I'm more familiar with, I will also explain, and if I have access to a Windows machine, I will record those videos and basically show you what everything is. So I think on Mac, you go down to, on Finder, you go to Settings, and then you go to Advanced, and then Show File Name Extension. So I think that's it. That's pretty much, that pretty much shows you, and let me even show you what I mean by file name extension. And the reason I'm doing this is because, like I said, I'm doing it this way because I am not the best at using Mac OS. So I'm just going to do it for command line, and command line is the second section of this course that we're going to get into. So let me just show you what I mean. And if I see this here, and that's now we're inside this file, and let me just create a file here, because on Windows you can just create files, but on Mac apparently you can't do that. But I can use this to do it. Let's just call it name.py. And you see this .py file, it shows you the kind of file it is. That's what we're enabling. So let's make it .html, and this is the kind of file we're going to be working with, HTML and CSS files. So we need to enable extension so we can basically see all those things. So that's the first thing we need to do. And on Windows, I will put a video right now explaining how to do that on Windows. Okay, so now we are currently on Windows, and all you need to do is go to the search bar and search for Hidden. You can search for, I feel like this is just the easiest way. I see Show File Extension, that's actually what we're looking for. I'll click here. So you probably want to show hidden files too. Just turn that on, and then see hide extensions for known file type. This should not be ticked. So if this is how it should be on your PC, you want to untick it and then press apply, and then press OK, and that's pretty much it. It should be set for on Windows. Okay, so if you have it now on Windows, we are going to move to the second part, which basically is downloading Visual Studio Code. So you should just go to your browser and search download. If you don't have Visual Studio Code, download VS Code for whatever operating system you're on. I think it should basically even give you this Windows. If you're on this Mac or Windows, just download it. Make sure you download the one for your if you are on, I think most people are basically on a 64-bit machine. I don't even see 32-bits anymore. But that's basically, so you install it. I already have Visual Studio Code on my computer, and we'll get to that later. The next thing we need to do is to download Sheets. So we're going to use this later. So if you're on Windows, I want you to download this one. I think it makes it much easier. So if you're on Windows, you go down here and 64-bit Windows, download the installer. Download this one and install it on your machine. And also, when you're downloading Visual Studio Code, when you're installing it on Windows, make sure you put in add to path. So on Windows machines, right, that will allow you be able to do something like this and open with VS Code this, right? So make sure you add it to Path to be able to do that, and it's actually makes your life a lot easier when you're opening files to Visual Studio Code. And then on Mac, you just download the Mac OS version of it, and hopefully all of us know how to install softwares. If you want, you could also go straight to downloading Node. I don't think we are going to use it, although you will use it as you progress, but you could download Node and install it on your system. Actually, it's actually wise to install it, but we are not going to get into that. I don't think we're going to use it, so we are going to ignore that for now. The next thing we want to do, okay, I don't have VS Code open. It's wait, I actually do have it. Okay, so what I want to do, let me do this. Okay. On Windows, you should be able to just type here code dot. We're going to talk about like what this dot is and what we are basically when we get to command line, but this should open it. Visual Studio Code. Let's test it. Should open it with the files for us. On Mac, I don't think you can do that. They say code. You need to just Google. I will attach a link. Check the link in the description. If you can't do this on your Mac and you can't do this, I think you need to do something. I think I did it when I got this laptop, but on Windows you should be able to if you add it to Path. So make sure you do that. And what we need to do, the last thing we need to install is called Live Server. So this is the extensions tab for Visual Studio Code. So basically extensions, right, gives you like special functionalities if you're using VS Code, which is the code editor that we're using. So these are the current extension I have on. You can download multiple things. Like this is just a theme for, let me show you what that does. If I just ignore what I'm doing right now, we'll get back to you. Like this coloring stuff, that's what that extension I think this extension is for the IDE and everything. And then I have the C++, I have Code Runner. Code Runner, you don't need it. Maybe we could use it when we get to JavaScript. But the one I want you to download is this one, Live Server. So basically when you come to extension, I want you to search here Live Server. Alright? So this is Live Server. And when you click here, you will put install. I already have it installed, so I don't need to install it anymore. And once you do that, you will get this thing at the bottom here, go live, and you have the ability to right click and say open with Live Server. So should I explain? We'll get to that when we get to the HTML section. We'll talk about this, but just have this on your computer for now, and that should be everything we need to set up our PC. And in the next video, we should start with command line, which is this, and I'll explain basic command line codes, basic command line commands, and all these things I've been doing, like how I created this file. This is the kind of things we're going to do in the next video. So I'll see you in the next one, and peace out.